Hey folks, I want to talk about horses that try and horses that are bad, misbehave, make mistakes, and don't always do the right thing. Because sometimes when a horse does the wrong thing, it's not being bad. Well, most times it's not, because it's just inherently not part of the horse's nature to be bad. Most times when a horse does something undesirable or the wrong thing, it's simply a case of it doesn't know. And it's up to us to teach the horse what it needs to know. Now, in this case, right at this very second while I'm talking to you, I'm teaching him to stay out of my space. Every once in a while, he takes a step forward, and I just give the lead one little quick spin, and he steps a step back again. So that's just, everything's an opportunity, but he didn't know any better. He was always allowed to get into people's spaces, and, he's not being bad. He's actually being affectionate and social. There's nothing really wrong with him. His behavior is actually pretty good, but it's undesirable. It's wrong from a human perspective. And so there's a saying I mentioned that it's very valid. It says if you discipline a horse for when it does something wrong, it'll stop trying for fear of discipline. But if you encourage a horse to try, eventually it'll get it right, and something like that anyhow. And basically that's what I want to talk about is if your horse is acting up, if it's being bad, if it's getting things wrong, that's okay. At least it's doing something. It's trying. And eventually it will get it right. Now, I got this guy in front of me as an example because he's relatively green. I've only been working with him maybe a total of about 6 hours. And it's apparent that he's had no groundwork done with him whatsoever. He's got a lot of issues. Well, for the most part, he's actually a pretty good horse, though, but he just doesn't know anything. So the first few times I asked him to do things, he just freaked out. I mean, he was, rearing and running backwards, and then when he did go forward, he'd run instead of walk, which is okay, because even though I'd rather have him in a nice relaxed walk, which he does now, at least he was moving the right direction, like that. He was going forward. That's a good thing. So whether or not he's actually doing it right, that's not important. He's trying. And right now he's doing very good. As you can see how soft he is. The lead slack, I'm holding it with one finger. And that's only in a few hours. And we've actually taught this guy quite a few different things in that length of time. He's been a good student, but he's made lots of mistakes in the process too. And I want to use something as an example here. Just one of many things. It doesn't always happen right off the bat. Is the first time I put my hand on to get him to move over, I had to push fairly hard and hold my hand there for quite a while. As you can see, I'm barely even touching him, and he's moving. He's learned, and we've worked on that particular thing for maybe 15 minutes total. But when your horse is being bad, it's not because it's a bad horse. Horses aren't bad. They're just not like that. It's not in their nature. Pretty much everything that we ask them to do is contrary to their instincts, and it's frustrating and confusing to them, and they tend to freak out, blow up, rear up, bolt out, whatever, all kinds of things that are considered to be undesirable behaviors by humans. And but your horse really isn't being bad. He's actually trying. So understand the difference between a bad horse and the horse that's trying. The one that's actually a bigger problem is the one that doesn't do anything. If it doesn't react at all, that's a much bigger problem. A horse that does the wrong thing, at least he's trying. He's doing something. And that's important. Is that the horse is at least doing something. So even if it's being what you think is bad, if it's not doing the right thing, that's okay. At least it's trying, all right? Horses aren't bad. They just don't know. It's up to you to teach them what they need to know so they can get the right answer, and they won't be bad anymore, okay? So the next time you're having a problem and your horse is doing what you think is wrong, or you think he's being bad, just consider he doesn't know any better. I mean, we've only been working with this guy, little guy. He's not perfect. We've only been working for a little while. There's a lot of things he still doesn't do quite, 100% yet, but hey, he's getting better. I used to have to put my hand on his side and hold it there for quite a while before he'd move. Now we just barely touch him and he moves, so he's catching on. A lot of people would have thought he was being bad and stubborn because he didn't move the first time they touched him. Well, he didn't know. It's not his fault. It's up to me to teach him what he needs to know. Okay, folks? So the next time you think your horse is being bad, maybe it's not being bad. Maybe it just doesn't know. And if it's doing something wrong, at least it's trying. Okay? Have a good day.